A pleasant welcome to the National Sports Campus for Ireland's game today between the Ireland U20 Wolfhounds and the Filton PRIDE visiting from Filton, England. It's a pleasant good afternoon from Dublin 15. My name is Max Balpoff, and I am honored to be joining you today on this Saturday afternoon from Dublin. Thank you so much for being part of your Sunday today. You just saw the coin toss where Ireland's under 20 squad decided to receive the ball. They will begin the game on offense. They're led out by captains today: Will Lambert, number 75, Isaac Stoll, number 30, Ben Smith, number 50, and on the offensive side, Connor Hoskins and Zach McDowell and Darren and Junke. For the Pride today, visiting from England, they were led out by their captains Simon Oleifa, Ellis Phillips, Charlie Evans, and Jensen Ritchie. We're thrilled you've decided to join us today. Game has yet to begin. You may see a non-uniform helmet arrangement between several players on the Irish Wolfhounds today. That's because they are situated in their club helmets. The red is for the Cork Admirals. The yellow is for the Belfast Knights, among other teams that are represented today. 7 of the 8 Premier Division teams in AFI's Premier Division announced call-ups for this game, including Cork, South Dublin with 1 representative each. The Dublin Rebels paced the teams with 10, followed by UCD with 9 and the Belfast Knights with 8. The Trojans accounted for 2 and the Craigavon Cowboys accounted for 4. Meanwhile, from Division 1, the only team that made an announcement of who was joining them was the 5 from the Northwest Vipers. It is a howling wind, as you might be able to hear, picked up on the microphones for our artificial intelligence camera that I may have to apologize for frequently throughout the course of today's contest. Drop a comment in the chat. We're just about set to get underway. Let me know where you're tuning in from on this fine Sunday morning if you're from the Americas, afternoon if you're tuning in from Europe, or evening if you're tuning in from Asia. As the Filton Pride set up for this international friendly, Ted Carter, number 2, will be the one assigned to kicking duty. Great to see everybody tuning in. And the kick is away. Let's have some fun from the National Sports Campus. This one will bounce. It does not go into the end zone. And unfortunately, Ireland's got to field this one. And this is not going to be great field position to start the game for the Wolfhounds. Tough start today for the Wolfhounds. So a rolling kick that UCD, force of habit, that Ireland fully believed was likely going to roll into the end zone for a touchback, instead took a hard left turn and stayed out. From the northeast edge of the National Sports Campus, home to several national team programs for Ireland, Zach McDowell starting the day. The quarterback for the Belfast Knights sets up with 2 to his left, 2 in the backfield, and 1 to the right. It's a run, it's up the middle, and it's going to be a short or no gain for Ireland off of their first play. While of note, Pride are coming off of a successful season in the British Universities and Colleges Sport League, where they play. Pride coming in winning the National Vase Trophy for the first time in the step below the national division. As it'll be a holding on the offense, so already being backed up in their own 10, Ireland is backed up even further following a penalty on the first play. They'll march the ball half the distance as my eyes aren't deceiving me. I believe those goalposts are crooked. Anyway, McDowell back in the backfield again. He takes a look at this. Looks like nickel defense for the Pride. He changes the strength of the running back from his left to his right. McDowell will hand it off. Run is up the middle again. And this is going to get back some of the penalty yards, but not all of it. This wind is howling more than a coyote in the Arizona desert. Goodness gracious. Kicking today is going to be a problem for Carter and Will Lambert of the Pride and the Wolfhounds, respectively, as after that first down play, it is now a second down coming up here for Ireland, as our artificial intelligence camera swerves a bit to the left before eventually returning to the field of play to capture all 22 players. As it looks like a penalty was called on the Pride, as it is still first down. McDowell's got 2 in the backfield with him, 2 to his left, 1 to the right. McDowell will search that way. It's a short pass, bobbled and caught. First big gain of the day, I believe that's number 18, Torin Murray of University College Dublin. First and 10 setting up here following the gain on the first down play. McDowell in shotgun, has just one running back with him with three receivers lined up to his right. It's a low snap. He fields it, picks it up off the ground, looking deep down the field. Got the man. It's open. It's incomplete is the signal. Great to see everybody joining in. We got 100 or so of you watching, so thank each and every one of you for joining us here on the Wolfhounds under 20 game here on the National Sports Campus. Please let me know where you're watching from. I'm always curious to see which of American football. As James play, two in the backfield, two to the left. Motion from right to left. Powell takes the snap. He's looking to his left. He's got nobody open and overshoots a double covered receiver. Incomplete. Wanted number 80, Dieter Armstrong. Now it is third down coming following two incomplete passes. Bethany Beach, Delaware. Glad to see my parents are tuning in. That's 3rd and 10 now. Wolfhounds set up three receivers right. As a cloud cover briefly comes over the field, and it's a jump. Was it enough for offside? Did he get reestablished? Pass over the middle is incomplete. I do not see a penalty flag on the play. It looked like whoever jumped on the defensive line was able to reestablish themselves outside the neutral zone. So it's 4th and 10 as the Wolfhounds have a choice to make. Coming in from Newcastle. Good to see. Are the goalposts game regulation? Judging from just how they're set up, I'm not sure. And McDowell, a pooch kick from the shotgun position. This is not going to go well here. It's a net gain of about 7 yards. And Pride line up for their first bit of offense in great field position. Goalposts look to be at least regulation size, if that's what your question is. However, I'm not sure if they're aligned properly. You may be able to see if the camera goes toward the right side. As it's Oliver Smithson, number 8, to lead the Pride out on offense. Setting up with a heavy set formation to the right side with one wide receiver. It's a long snap. It goes well behind everybody. Running back receives it. Running back is going to be run out of bounds. Golden Merton took control of it, could not get back any positive yards. It is a deep loss, over 10 yards lost on that first down play. Troublesome snap. Brings up a second down play. So Smithson and the Pride are on the back foot to start. They switch the wide receiver from right to left. Smithson, a much cleaner handle this time. Handoff is up the middle, and they'll get some of the yards back, but not all of it. Sets up third down here. Great to see. We got plenty of fans tuning in supporting the Filton Pride. I'll detail more about the program later for the uninitiated, as it is a long third down here. Third and a long way to go. Slight change of the formation. Slot receiver. That's Ted Carter going in motion. He'll also do kicking duties. Smithson running. Smithson gets beyond the line of scrimmage, and it's a short gain, short tackle. As that is Liam Polson of UCD getting the tackle. Fourth down coming. As a stoppage on the play for As the White Hat is speaking with number 2, Ted Carter, for the Pride. Defense was offside. It'll still be third down, but it's a much more manageable third down from the original line of scrimmage. As instead of the short run, they'll probably opt to accept the penalty and take the extra down. And I believe that is what is being discussed right now with Charlie Evans. Tuning in from Bedford. Good to see we've got a proud English contingency tuning in to watch their sons play today. Sons and nephews, I'm assuming, as well. As indeed they will accept the penalty. Inside is ball to the right. It's in another handoff. It's going to go left, and it's bottled up on the line. Sam Malone, number 61, in on the stop. UCD zone. This sets up a long fourth down, fourth and roughly 16. Tuning in from Hawaii. How early is it for you? Happy to see you tuning in for Sam Tucker, but goodness gracious, did you sleep? On board Germany, great to see you, Alex Saeed. And they will go for it. This is a long shot overhead and incomplete. Watching from Spain today, tuning in for Connor Hoskins today. For 22, one of the captains for the Ireland squad today, as the Wolfhounds get their second turn with the ball. They set up from deep in their own end, inside the 5 on their first possession. We're not able to get many yards. As McDowell stays on the Wolfhounds offense goes back to work with 3 to the right side and 1 to the left. Motion coming in, gets another man in the backfield. It'll be a handoff up this right-hand side. Short gain, if any. Watching from Amsterdam. Great to see Andrew. From Japan, good evening to you. Yeah, as a bit of a peek behind the curtain, I got Filton's roster about an hour or so ago, and I had to copy it down to paper so that I could track it because I got it in digital form. Second and about 9. Always thrilled to see family of players tuning in. So we're just getting set here in this first quarter. Both teams have held the ball once. Both teams have turned it over. Ireland via a punt, Filton via a downs play. McDowell has pressure up the middle, swings it out. Here's got Murray. Murray's got a lot of room to run. He'll get a first down on the play. Corbin Merton with the tackle, among others in on there. Xavier De Almada as well. It sets up a first down on the opposite side of the field. First play from Filton's side today for Ireland. A lot of youth and senior team representatives from throughout the American Football Ireland divisions. Watching for one of my favorite names on the roster, Americo Da Silva. Glad to see you tuning in from the United Kingdom. 2 receivers left, 2 in the backfield and 1 to the right. McDowell's got the hand, and he'll hand it off. It's a short running play, and the pile push is not going to get very far. Gabriel Krubali gets the tackle all the way to the ground as they bring down Conan McGuinness. In speaking digitally with both coaches today prior to the game, Both Ireland and Filton are saying this is a great game to get players reps and great time to get people on the line who may not have had their chances during the regular seasons for the Filton Pride or so far during the AFI season. Second down and short. It's another fake the handoff. McDowell loads up and goes for, has a man open, overshot his receiver, incomplete. Great to see you. Thailand, good evening to you. Leo Kim, the next Travis Hunter. We'll see if the Jaguars trade up to select him in next year's draft. Or maybe in a couple of years. I'm not sure what his draft eligible age would be. Tuning in from Sri Lanka, good evening to you as well. Checking in for this third down play, and it's Ireland sets up with three receivers right, one to the left, and a running back behind. McDowell will receive it from 5 yards behind. Shotgun snap, has the ball at his knees. McDowell throws. McDowell has a man, and it is a catch, but a well-done tackle on the corner, as Dieter Armstrong could not get very far. It's a fourth down on the Ireland half of the field for offense. McDowell can punt, as evidence from the previous drive where he punted from shotgun position. Ireland will set up on the far side of the field. Doesn't look like Filton has anybody back to return. McDowell takes short kick, and it looked like it got blocked. Watching from a bar in Japan. Hey, I'm not going to complain about where people are watching from. I'm just happy people are watching. It's yet another pooch punt for McDowell and the Wolfhounds, as the Pride will take over about the 40-yard line. Shotgun snap. This one's a handoff. Gould had a lot of members of the defense fooled, and it's a great first down run to set up yet another first down. Earl, among others, in on the stop. Pride get a first down here. Their first down of the day. The howling wind is going to certainly make a lot of kicking today very difficult. Smithson receives. Smithson fakes the pitch, goes outside, has a man, has blockers. Getting to the first down sticks is Ted Carter, and he's driven back, but not after resetting the chains and keeping Filton on the march. No score so far between the Wolfhounds and the Pride. And the whistle of the wind on these microphones leads me to believe a car crash might be coming, but there's not a whole lot of roads nearby. Listen again, play as able to get around a few players. Cameron Olefa. Olefa gets the edge. Olefa getting to the sideline, and he's dragged down. Chasing tackle from Oscar Egan, number 42. As one of the offensive captains today for the Pride. It's another first down. That's 3 plays, 3 first downs for the visitors from England. Finley Morgan, the center, will put his hand on the ball. Smithson checks his play sheet with 2 receivers left. Motion coming back to the side. Smithson looking. Smithson's in some trouble. Gets it up, gets it into the end zone, and it's a flag on the play. Touchdown is the call. There's a flag in the backfield. Got to check this one before I count for a score. And it is indeed on the Pride, so this play will not count for the score. And a 10-yard penalty negates the first down touchdown play. So this will just be a 1st and 20, setting up for the Pride. Vincent's got extra protection in the backfield with him and a one wide receiver look. Simon Olefa, handoff up the middle, great blocking, can't get him down until he gets inside the 5. Simon Olefa breaks one through up the middle, and the Pride are knocking on the end zone's door. Happy to see you, Paige. Thanks for tuning in. Recommendation the UCD streams that I also run. Vincent sets up with 2 wide, having an extra back there as well. A bit of a breaking handoff for Olefa. Can't get the ankle tackle. Olefa breaks free, and is he in? Yes. Touchdown for the visitor. As Carter comes out, this is an indication that the Pride will go for 1 on these what look like crooked goalposts. Leo Kim down to hold as the Pride set up for the conversion kick. High snap, Kim gets it down, and the kick is blocked. Carter did not have enough time to sort that one out as it remains 6-0, Pride in the lead. Happy to see everybody tuning in. Tuning in from England, a lot of people tuning in from Thailand, and one from Sri Lanka. Our parents tuning in from America. I recognize Paige, I believe you're from Canada, if I remember correctly. As the Pride will set back up to kick. 2 straight punts for UCD. I'm going to have to catch myself on that. 2 straight punts for the Irish national youth team today. Ireland able to block the PAT. Carter is waiting for something. As a decent-sized crowd is on hand at the National Sports Campus for Sport Ireland in lovely Dublin 15, north of the River Liffey. As with this wind, I'm surprised the ball is staying on the tee as Carter sets up for the kickoff. Wolfhounds receive the ball down by 6, and this one will take a friendly roll into the end zone for a touchback. Sets up the offense at the 25. Zach McDowell was the quarterback the last 2 drives for the Wolfhounds U20 side. As the Wolfhounds huddle up, their second drive was the better of their 2 drives so far to start this game. McDowell once again sets up in the backfield. 2 receivers to his left, a tight end in the back with a running back, and a wide receiver left. McDowell hands it off up the middle and getting that one through. Connor Hoskins in the gold helmet representing the South Dublin Panthers. Second down and about 3 to go for the Wolfhounds, trailing by 6. Dowell now has Hoskins to his left side, keeping relatively the same formation otherwise. He receives the low snap. It's a blitz off the corner. Hoskins got the toss on the swing play, and it's a short gain to set up a 3rd and short. As Njanke checks in on Hoskins, make sure he's all right. One of the representatives for the Cork Admirals. Third and about 1, as the Pride trying to get themselves off the field, and the Wolfhounds looking to put together an offensive drive to get back on the scoreboard. McDowell sets as they line up 3 receivers right. 4 across the front, showing blitz off the right side of the offensive formation. Here comes the run. The blitz backs off. It's a long ball looking for anybody. Dropped the interception, incomplete. Overshot Oysen Moroney, as it is a 4th and 1 coming up here. Interesting decision for the Wolfhounds. It is short yardage situation. And a timeout is going to be called to discuss this one. So the Wolfhounds call their first of 3 timeouts for the half. They have 2 remaining. And the Pride still have their full complement of timeouts, as people chiming in saying they could have caught that. Pride and the Wolfhounds go back to their respective benches to set up. Sport Ireland campus, the one that hosting today's game, is the headquarters for several of Ireland's national programs, including Football Association Ireland, which is what Americans like myself would call soccer. The Irish Rugby Football Union also has several fields there. The Gaelic Athletic Association has a neutral site field for a lot of their clubs and counties to come play at. Gymnastics sets up there. Swim Ireland has a lot of offices there. It's an incredible campus setup, and it hosts a lot of school events, but it is also very open to the public, as evidenced by the people sitting on the grassy embankment by the Pride sideline. 4th and 1 is the setup here for the Wolfhounds. We're thankful all of you have tuned in today on this April 27th, a Sunday afternoon here in Ireland. It is approaching 1 p.m. McDowell's got 2 to his left and 1 to his right. He's lined up to pooch kick the last couple times. He's going to hand it off this time, and this time Hoskins gets across the first down line. And the gamble pays off. The Wolfhounds keep the drive moving. A little bit of extra protection setting up at the left side of the offensive line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Hoskins in the backfield again with McDowell. And people moved early. Ball did not move, or did it? And the call is offside on the defense. It'll be a shorter first down play coming. For those just joining us, I'm always curious where people are tuning in from. So if you've got a hometown you want to shout out, you got a player you want to say that you're watching. We've had a lot of people say they're here to watch Corbin Merton, number 5 for the Pride. That's also the most recent comment I see. Ivy Yundi, number 57, among others. Running back for the Wolfhounds right now is Connor Hoskins, number 22. He lines up for the South Dublin Panthers in his AFI season. Premier Division. First and 5. And Nolan, we got people tuning in from Azerbaijan. Happy to see everybody tuning in today from wherever they are. From Dalkey, good to see. As Nolan, number 26, lines up for the Dublin Rebels in these club days. As I'm not exactly sure what the extra discussion is for. It seemed like a rudimentary offside penalty on a 1st and 10, so that just sets up a 1st and 5. Got people tuning in for the linebacker, Captain Ellis Phillips. Someone's here to watch Krzysztof Kuchta and Connor D of the Wolfhounds. Glad to see everybody tuning in. Finn Nolan today is wearing number 26. That's at the handoff again to Hoskins. He tries to bounce it all the way outside, and he's going to lose yards. And looks like he didn't lose much. People here to watch Ashley Hopkinson, Americo Da Silva tuning in from South Africa today. Glad to see everybody tuning in to watch their favorites. 2nd down and about 5. Wolfhounds have struggled moving the ball against this Pride defense. McDowell sets, has 2 in the backfield with him. Here's the snap. Edge rushers coming through and unable to get through. Charlie Craven cut back to the ball to cut off Ronan O'Boyle, and it now sets up 3rd down. Got people tuning in for Carlos Villamal. Good to see. Watching from Canada. I believe that's now the 2nd person watching from Canada. Here for Clay Dwyer. Third and 5 after a promising start as the wind howls yet again. McDowell's got to run. McDowell away from pressure on the blind side, and he gets the ball, throws it away, incomplete. 4th down and 5 coming as Wolfhounds unable to do anything with the 1st down offside penalty. McDowell has punted both times. Wolfhounds have had the ball, so he just stays in formation, does a quick pooch kick out of the shotgun snap. As a penalty is called on the Pride to give a new lease on life for the Wolfhounds. Watching from the north for the Northwest Vipers, Ferris and the rest of the 5 Vipers that were announced as part of this Wolfhound squad. They were the only Division I team in AFI that made any kind of official announcement. Oh, no, it's just a quarter change. Second quarter of action. Thrilled to see the chat active today. We got 140 plus of you watching today on this Sunday afternoon. As this looks like more of a traditional punt style formation with McDowell lined up in the back. We're still discussing something. Watching from Australia for Americo Da Silva. Glad to see Carlos Villaray, tuning in for number 5 on the Wolfhounds. He'll line up on defense as a defensive back. Still waiting to see what the deal is here. As Kenge Simbu, number 62, looks like he'll be the one to line up. Sean O'Brien tuning in. How's studying going, Sean? Glad to see that you're tuning in today. So it looks like more of a traditional punt formation for the Wolfhounds. It'll be their 3rd time kicking the ball, bouncing ball, long snap. I believe now kicking into the wind is McDowell. Pride will set up for the ball with their 3rd time today, looking for their 2nd score. They lined up to kick 1 on the previous touchdown drive. A high snap had to be fielded by Leo Kim, and they were unable to get the kick away. It got blocked. Score predictions. As the guy presenting the game, I don't do those. I find that to be unprofessional. So by my standards, I'm not going to give a score prediction. It also doesn't help. I've never seen either of these teams play live, so I'm not the person to ask for a score prediction. Smithson lines up in the backfield. 2 receivers stacked to the right. Now comes this formation. Smithson lines up, has a lot of room. Heavy draping coverage, and no call coming. It was Sean Fitzpatrick tuning in for that coverage. Switch the strength of the formation to the left-hand offensive side. And Smithson opting to run. Had a swing route open to Olefa. And Smithson keeps it. And it looks like they lost the ball. As the Wolfhounds believe they've got the ball. Off with the quarterback run and fumble. So a chance for your best starting position of the day for the Wolfhounds is the first turnover for the Pride. McDowell leads the Wolfhounds back out onto the field as they set up from the 39 of the Pride. Officials now discussing something. Not 100% sure what they're talking about. As whatever it is, it doesn't change the situation at hand. 1st and 10, as it sounds like the microphone is picking up heavy brake traffic with people screeching tires. Dowell's got 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, with 2 in the backfield with him. Dowell takes, handoff is to Hoskins. Hoskins will cut to the left side, getting some room, getting some speed. Down the sideline, he's got a 1st down. Calls for a run to the B gap. Heavy tire traffic. You know when, I'm not sure if you speed, but you know when speeding, sometimes if you slam on the brakes, the tires give that squeal sound? That's what the wind sounds like on this microphone. First and 10, lining up from the 28. 3 receivers right with a slot receiver to the left. McDowell lines. McDowell fakes the handoff. McDowell's going to throw deep. Got a man open and overthrew Armstrong, incomplete. 2nd and 10 lining up here as the two Belfast Knights teammates were unable to connect. Second and 10 to start this second quarter of action. Ireland punted both times they had the ball for complete drives in the first and led off the second quarter punting as well. The Wolfhounds received, so the Pride will receive the second half kickoff. As McDowell changes the strength of the play for the running back to the left side. He'll look right. Looking for the wide route receiver, and it is overshot, incomplete, looking for Maroney, another Knights teammate. 3rd and 10 setting up here. Here's what the Wolfhounds opt to do here at 3rd and 10, knocking on the door of the red zone. Don't have any points on the board in this 6-0 game. Can I interpret wind noise? No. I don't know what it's saying. McDowell will receive with 3 receivers stacked to the left, and it's a fake handoff to Hoskins. Looking for a throw. It's broken up. Heavy flag on the play. Flag in the coverage. As if this is on the Pride, they may have just bailed out the Wolfhounds. Now a discussion of who the penalty is on. And his offensive pass interference. The Pride are opting to enforce the penalty from 3rd and 10. It's going to be now 3rd and 25. As the penalty definitely knocks the Wolfhounds out of field goal range. But it remains 3rd down, so it leaves open the possibility that the Wolfhounds might just get this anyway. Got a long way to go. As I believe the Wolfhounds are attacking the east end zone, so they may as well have to get to Dublin Airport in order to get this first down. They're that far away. 3 receivers bunched to the right, 1 alone out to the left. Here comes a test of McDowell's arm. McDowell throws it short for Hoskins, and even if it is complete, it's short, so it's 4th and 25 coming up for Ireland. McDowell lines up again to receive this, as he looks like he's lining up for his 4th punt today. And McDowell's just going to fall on it. Tried to line up the punt. Snap went wide to the left, and McDowell opted to just fall on top of it. Sets up the Pride with great field position on Ireland's half of the field. Six nothing Pride on a touchdown run by Simon Olefa. As now they go with a twin back set for Filton. And Smithson, the ball's on the ground, picking it up from the play, unable to get positive yards, but avoiding disaster. Flight to Kingston, Jamaica. Have you gotten through customs yet? I don't know if you're allowed to have your phone until you get through customs. Happy to see that you've tuned in, though. As it is a 2-yard loss off the bungled snap. Pride's only drive in this quarter ended up with a fumble that Ireland could not capitalize on. Pride load up the left side of the formation. Now they send Kim out to the right. Smithson rolls looking for Kim. Underneath his hands, incomplete. Second down, long turns in to third. All at midfield. Got to get to the 36 to convert this first down. Smithson, reverse on the handoff. It's an interesting, well-designed play, and the run goes for good yards. Looks like Thomas Mulder, number 28. It's a good run, but it's still 4th and 2. Interesting choice here for the coaching staff of the Pride, as they line up, perhaps looking for a play. As I believe this is the 2-minute warning here. Either team called timeout, and that seems to be the only reason that they would stop the action. Once again, want to thank everybody for joining us today. No matter where you're tuning in from, we're thrilled that you're part of all of us. My name is Max Walpoff. I am the voice of UCD American Football. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to this American Football Ireland live stream. For the U20 roster getting a test today against the reigning national vase champions of the British Universities and Colleges Sports Championship. Now that the Pride have had a moment to think about it, still 4th and 2 from inside the 40. And it's a whistle before the play. They call a false start on the Pride. So all of that looked like a well-designed play. The H-back, everybody else was really left to go right. Now 4th and short turns into 4th and up. Would you believe me, Martin Ogeson, if I told you I've never eaten a Big Mac in my life, so I wouldn't know. I'm not going to make any assumptions here. They might be going for this too. They are. It's a short pass. Got it to Carter. Carter on the outside, and turnover on down is met in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Wolfhounds succeed in getting off the field as they send McDowell out there. The offense so far going 0 for 4 on their drive. Punts and turnover on downs. They will take over at their own 48. The white line you see there is for association football. As a attempted screenplay on a 4th and about 7. Wind sounds like it's enjoying the game. Yep, indeed. My history in football. I will answer that question following this play, as stoppage on the play for something might just be the officials talking to each other. So my history in football is I've just watched for the entirety of my life. I grew up in the Maryland suburbs of Washington, D.C., and as a result of growing up in the 90s, watched a lot of Green Bay Packers games because the Packers were awesome when they had Brett Favre, and then they were awesome when they had Aaron Rodgers. Snap to McDowell. He's looking left first, goes to his right, has somebody down the sideline, and almost intercepted, incomplete. Did I win a Heisman? No. My history in football is as a commentator. This is actually my first season commentating American football for an audience in any capacity. My broadcasting history led me to Boston University, where I did a lot of ice hockey. Yeah, since I was a week old sitting on my Uncle Pat's lap in Lowell. Yeah, that's a great family story. I was enraptured by the Super Bowl where the Packers defeated the Patriots. Shotgun snap to McDowell on the second down play. Handoff is to Hoskins, and Hoskins powers forward to get across midfield. What position would I play if I wanted to? All right, I'm going to interpret that question to include the ability to give myself athletic ability, because right now I don't have much of that. I'd love to play wide receiver. I'm not going to lie. I'd love to catch touchdown passes. I have a flair for the dramatic. It's the reason I am a commentator, of course. I was a theater kid in high school. So I think being a wide receiver would be a ton of fun. I'd definitely choreograph my touchdown dances in advance. I would be that type of guy. McDowell receives, third down snap, fakes the handoff, got a man in the flat, it's open, and down he gets it. Oren Murray. My stats, 0 for 0 for 0 yards and 0 touchdowns. We get a Pat McAfee halftime bit. I don't have that kind of pull. I watch a lot of wrestling, so I might be able to imitate him if you give me enough time, but I don't think we could get Pat to come on. That's not happening. McDowell sets up for a 1st and 10. As the Wolfhounds struggling to get on the scoreboard so far, Pride up by 1 on the run from Alefa. McDowell, low snap, hands off to Hoskins, met in the backfield and stopped before he gets any yards. I don't have anything planned, but I can answer questions from the chat during the halftime show if that's what you have in mind. Are you a Hamilton fan? Barden, are you asking about the Hamilton Tiger Cats, or are you asking about Lewis Hamilton? Or Hamilton the musical? Right, 5 minutes and counting from the white hat. Handoff is to Hoskins. Hoskins has a block is up inside. A cut around Carbon Merton. And he's able to get good yards on the play, sets up a 3rd down. What do I think about Shadur falling to round 5? I think there's a lot of reasons that might have happened. I think one of my favorite takes on it came from The Athletic. Can I sing during halftime? I can sing, but you'll probably turn the stream off if I start singing. Shadur falling to round 5. I think the understandable take comes from a few of the Athletic writers, where if you're going to draft Shadur Sanders, you have to understand he will probably bring a lot of attention with him. The show. No, I am not a fan of Hamilton the Broadway show. Take the handoff to Hoskins. Turning it upfield. Going over the middle. Got a receiver, and he slides and drops it. 4th down and short coming for the Wolfhounds. So if you're going to draft a quarterback in the 5th round, you're likely drafting that person to be the backup or compete for a 3rd string job. I don't think a lot of teams have the stomach to bring the attention that Shadur Sanders would bring to a 3rd string or backup quarterback, rightly or wrongly. I mean, he's got plenty of talent. I don't know how to evaluate Jackson Dart because he didn't play on the greatest team, and it's also tough to evaluate Shadur Sanders, especially, and a false start here. Definitely a penalty on the right tackle as he moved a tad early. There's Joseph Bamadil. Fourth down and long setting up here as Ireland looks like they're going to go for it fourth and about 8. McDowell sets. McDowell looking to the sideline and out of reach. Could not find it. Yet another turnover on down. Get the ball for the 5th time today. They've scored once so far. Oliver Smithson leads the offense back out for the Pride. Pride finished off an undefeated season, 8-0 in the regular season and 3-0 in the playoffs, to win their first national vase earlier this year. With coaches, they brought in a younger Watson, and this run is met deep in the backfield as Will Lambert, number 75, in up along with others. Second and 13 setting up here. Two in the backfield and stacked receivers to the left. They fake the handoff, and it's broken up, incomplete. As we have a stop coming in. As the White Hat has taken a position between the two teams, which seems to indicate that there is a penalty, and indeed there is. Marched back as the Pride take a penalty. Sets up a longer second down as opposed to third and long. Smithson back in the backfield. He's got full house with him. And it is a handoff. Looking for a run now. Olefa, and he's able to get the penalty yards back, getting back close to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10, maybe 11, depending on the spot. Let's go for a long third down here. Got a full house backfield. Ruben, the reason I'm not doing what you ask, I don't know who Aldershot is. So I'm not sure if you're asking me to shout out a brand that has a sponsorship or a person. I'm not sure. They pitch it. This is the 4th down play they tried to run earlier, and they run it to great effect here. Getting a first down, going up the field. Leo Kim got plenty of room. 10, a 5, touchdown drive. A huge touchdown catch and run. As Pride double their advantage to go up 12-0. Now we'll see if they can get the drafting arc matters done. I don't know what that means. Ed Carter setting up again for the point after try. As it looks like both goalposts are askew slightly. Let's see if they can handle the snap this one. Snap, hold, up, and it is good for the conversion. 13-0 is the score. The Pride on top of the Wolfhounds. So now a touchdown run for Olathe and a touchdown catch for Leo Kim. Pride tried running that exact play earlier in this quarter when they tried to run it on a 4th and 2, and they run it here on a 3rd and long to amazing effect. As the Wolfhounds are on the back foot late in this second quarter. Pride will receive the kickoff to start the second half. Thank you. Happy to see people like to. I've been told that suits are a bit too formal for live stream, but it's game day. I fully believe in dressing for the occasion, dressing for the job that I want, which is taking over for various commentators that I look up to. Wolfhounds line up to receive the kick. As the wind continues to howl directly into the faces of the Pride. Carter setting up for his east to west kick. Gives it a drive, going to the left. One will bounce toward the sideline. Wolfhounds have to grab it. It is a free kick. As it looks like a illegal procedure penalty on the Pride will give the Ireland Wolfhounds a few extra yards to set up with here. So we have Finn Morgan and Barry Rugby Football Club tuning in, following the special teams tackle from number 4, Sam Tucker. What do I think about sport talk? I think sport talk commentators is the one you were going with. I think we have too many of them, to tell the truth. It stuns me every time I hear so-and-so role player for 10 years that barely anybody knows. On his podcast, he got this A-level guest. I'm like, wait, what? It feels like I have to know too much to be a sports fan today, where I like to keep things very simple. I like to do a lot of my own research. I like to do a lot of my own investigations. I try my best to do all my own work and not rely on others. As there's a discussion here among the officials. Can I roleplay Nick Saban for the rest of the stream? Goodness gracious, that'd be so hard. I could maybe try a Nick Saban impression for a play or two, but I don't think I could pull a Nick Saban impression for the entirety of the game. That'd be hard. I didn't watch enough Alabama football to know his voice growing up. Again, I grew up in Maryland. I grew up in Big Ten and ACC country. There's a bit of confusion. Pride and also among the chain gang on the Pride sideline of who's setting up where. Favorite college football team, Miami Hurricanes. It's where I went to law school. So I got very deep into the Miami Hurricanes lore. This past season was awesome. UW Oshkosh, great school. They've had some incredible runs. as I guess a couple of penalties had to be enforced. The Wolfhounds set up beyond the 25. Do I support the Terrapins? Listen, the Terrapins are sort of the Macy's of college football, where they're good but not great, which is a terrible spot to be in college football. McDowell's back in at quarterback. He's got 3 receivers to his left. He looks that direction. Throws it way over. Corbin was the closest one to it. It's an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 coming up from the 29. And that howling wind. That howling wind giving Ireland some fits today. McDowell again, similar formation to last time. Ruben, I am wearing a full suit. I understand the question. McDowell rolls to his left, has a man open, gets it to him. That's Connor McKieran from the Craigavon Cowboys setting up. Gets out of bounds, so that stops the clock. I'll stand up at halftime. Why don't you wait? Under a minute to go. As I heard the White Hat call out, there's some number of seconds left. McDowell sets up now 2 to the left, 2 to the right, keeping with Hoskins in the backfield. Sends Aiden Key in motion to the right. McDowell looks that direction, has Key and gets it incomplete. Merton on the coverage. Down coming. I am not your monkey, Bargain Obson. Looks like Ireland's going to set up to punt once again. McDowell receives, and he gets a hold of this one, sends it long into the Pride side of the field. Curling toward the left, and looks like it's out of bounds. That's the 4th punt of the day for the Wolfhounds. Yeah, at halftime. You let me concentrate on doing my job. I'll give you what you want at the half. First and 10 set up for the Pride. This is their 6th time with the ball. Pride are not letting off the gas pedal here. Pass looking over the side, incomplete, nearly intercepted. Wanted Aver Lombard, who had the coverage on the play. Lombard has gotten some starting reps with UCD American football, who are enjoying top of the table status in the Premier Division. As a timeout called by the Pride. 13-0 Pride lead it on the strength of a touchdown run by Simon Olathe and a touchdown catch and run by Leo Kim off of a short pitch play. The Kim touchdown run or touchdown catch is one of those touchdown catches where the quarterback gets all of the passing yards despite doing limited passing. As number 1 is Sam Dunn. He's out there water bottles, checking in on everybody. He's one of the quarterbacks today for Ireland. 13-0. It's a 2nd and 10 coming up. Happy to see you, Chief. Thanks for tuning in. Smithson receives the snap. Rolling to his right. Stops, and he's in some trouble here. He goes down fast on the flag. Protection broke down late, and Smithson had nobody open. It's 3rd down and long. Gabriel, I am Max. Me, that's my name. The one talking to all of you. Looks like another timeout's been called here. Pride not giving up on this. Third down and about 15 coming up here is the Pride scoring twice today. Time is being kept on the field. I do not have access to a scoreboard, so I'm not exactly sure how many seconds are left in this half. We are getting late here in the second quarter. Both teams have held the ball a lot of times. This is the 4th time that each team has held the ball. It's a long 3rd down play. He'll hand it off to Alepa, and he breaks through. He cannot get the 1st down. He's very close. They will spot him about a yard to 2 yards short. Last time out for the Pride. They're out. Wolfhounds have 2 remaining. As a curious decision here for the coaching staff. Curious decision here for the Pride staff what to do. Most recent scoring play came from Leo Kim, as that allowed the Pride to take this 2-possession lead. After the officials talked over during the timeout, looks like the Pride going to line up to punt, trying to pin the Wolfhounds back, as instead they'll run it up the middle on a fake. My 40 time. I'd easily be over 6 seconds. I do not run fast. Can I give you a combine at halftime? No. I can, but I'm not going to. Yeah, I am very slow. There's a reason I'm sitting in a chair and talking to you. I'm not an athlete by any measure. I was a theater kid in high school. In the wise words of John Thompson Jr., more money in the world is made sitting down than standing up. I'm doing just fine for myself. 1st and 10 for the Pride. Smithson receives. It's a backward pass. got a man open. Lombard overruns his coverage, but it's a suplex down to the ground on first down. As that one looks like it hurt coming down. Oliver Sharp, number 30. He was taken to the ground hard on a tackle. You know, I've actually never seen Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's another show that I need to see that I haven't seen yet. And, oh, they're calling for the medics. Oh, no, this is not good. Oliver Sharp, who caught that last pass, was tackled down hard. This is not a good sign for the Pride. As he needs a moment to get up to his own feet. And I believe it looks like they waved off the medical staff. And medical staff are walking by. As, my apologies, that's 80, not 30. Trouble with the small camera that we have is that sometimes the numbers blend together. It's Leo Kim, number 80. Apologies for misidentifying him earlier. Several of you were wondering, why is Oliver playing wide receiver? He wasn't. That was my apology. That was my bad on that one. What superpower would I want? I'd want knowledge. I'd want to be able to know languages. I'd want to be able to talk to people in any language possible. Because especially I've had it happen here. We're coming from America, moving here to Ireland. The English here is different. And there are several times I've had to stop people who are Irish natives, never moved, and I had to stop them and say, listen, I don't know what this phrase means. I don't know what this word means. Could you please say that again? Smithson takes a quick snap on the play, and they pitch it back. That's a fumble, and whoever comes up with it at the bottom of the pile's got the ball. Looks like the Pride retained. Can I step in for Leo? I am several dozen kilometers away. No, I cannot step in. Can I kit up for the Pride? I would bring the quality of play down very fast if I kitted up for the Filton Pride. Where am I watching from? I am watching from my apartment in Dublin 14. So I'm on the opposite side of the river compared to where this game is being held. And the reason I'm doing that is because the camera that we use for the games is delayed. It makes no sense for me to be at the field relying on a hotspot or shaky or guest Wi-Fi. So for me, it made way more sense to set up here where I have reliable internet to watch the game and commentate with all of you watching. As I believe that is halftime for the two squads. 13-0. Because you told me your intention, I'm not going to tell you who tackled him, so I don't want people to take vengeance. All right. Because all of you were asking, I am in fact wearing pants, as you can hopefully tell. They go all the way down below my knees. Is that good enough for everybody? Goodness gracious. I feel like a circus animal doing this. I don't have an instrument to play. So I'll take questions. I will do reasonable questions. The request for a fit check was all right, interesting. I see all of you are going to be familiar with the Max Walpoff suit of the game when that comes on my Instagram showing later on. Uh, I don't know Glorilla. That's not a song I know. So it's 13-0, Pride lead at the half. Do we have any instruments? No, I don't play any instruments. Closest you'll get is me drumming the desk. Do I like Dublin? I like parts of Dublin, and it's like living basically anywhere. There are parts of it I love, there are parts of it I could do without, and there are definitely parts of it that I would like to see never come back. Uh, so I like living here. I especially like living outside of city center. I can't stress enough that if I lived in city center Dublin, I might go crazy. So for me, being on the outskirts of town, I can still get everywhere. I can still walk everywhere. I can take a bus and get anywhere in the county. I can take a train and get anywhere. We can talk about the political and economic state of the world. We can do anything. I live in a free country. I'm sure you live in a free country as well, but that would not be appropriate for the platform that we have here. So we can do it. I'm just not going to. Can I do the ice bucket challenge? I'm not going to do that in my suit. I happen to like my suit, and I have something I have to be at right after where I'm all required to be dressed up. You live in Hawaii, so you do live in a free country. If you could be an animal, what animal would you be and why? Hmm. Hmm. That's a harder question than it might seem because if I chose a predator type animal, I'd have to take that responsibility. What am I doing later? I'm heading to services later. So for those of you who are unaware, I'm Jewish, and there's a holiday today, so there are services at the Hebrew congregation nearby. Am I still a lawyer? I have an active license, if that answers your question. So I am not a practicing attorney, but I do have an active license, so I can practice. I'm not licensed in this country, though. That would require me to go to an Irish law school, obtain an Irish law degree, and sit on ice for a year watching other things going on. Yeah, I would have to sit on ice for a year, not getting paid to do an internship. It's I don't think that system is particularly productive, but it seems to work well for Ireland. No, I do not have a girlfriend. What are your thoughts on NFL draft selections? Goodness gracious. I barely watched because I live over here and I I live here and the draft started at 1 in the morning my time for the first round. So I definitely did not watch a second of the draft. I saw the selections that teams made. I was a bit surprised the Packers took a wide receiver in the first round. I like Matthew Golden. I think he'll be in a good position to succeed with Green Bay and a pass happy offense. However, I'm not 100% sure what the plan is going to be moving forward for that really young wide receiver room that the Packers have. Jordan Love's a great quarterback, but I think he can only do so much. I have a friend of mine, Brooklyn, who's a really big Raiders fan, and goodness, he was hoping that the Raiders would get Shadur Sanders in the third round, and he was not super happy about some of the selections. I do think of all the, I really do think that the sleeper who I really think could do well is Cam Skattebo at the New York Giants. I happen to really like watching Cam Skattebo at Arizona State this past season. There's a thing in a lot of sports where we revere the players that are the best, but we adore the players who are who give the most effort. And Cam Scadaboo is one of those guys who gives the most effort. He may not last in the NFL. It's a difficult job to last in, but I am very curious to see how the Giants use him. Standout players of the game so far. How do I not pick Leo Kim? I don't know the Shedeur Sanders-Stelly, actually. I don't know. My room is kind of a mess because I'm packing to go home in a few weeks, so I'm not going to do a room tour because I don't want to give you a bad impression of my room being a mess. But this is my kitchen table, in case you can't tell. My kitchen is actually back there behind that door. So standout players of the game, definitely Leo Kim on the Pride offense. He's definitely pulling out that run at the end of the. Why is my kitchen table not in my kitchen? Because the kitchen's really small. That's why. I call it the kitchen table. It's probably actually the dining room table. You know, you're right, Argan. You're absolutely right. That does make it not a kitchen table because it's not in the kitchen. But it is where I eat. So, what state am I in right now? I'm in County Dublin. I am not in the United States. So I'm in Dublin 14, which is south of the River Liffey from where this game is going on. As it's halftime between the Irish Wolfhounds and the Filton PRIDE. What state am I from? That's a better question. I am from Maryland, home of Old Bay, crab cakes, and football. That's what we do. There's been a lot of howling wind through the course of today's game. I can still hear it, but I muted the audio from the field just so that I could talk to all of you. But I kept the audio on my end so that I can hear. Would I swap phones? I happen to like my Google Pixel, so no. Who would you nominate for the? I don't know what that means. What is in the white mug? This is throat coat tea, honey lemon. I brewed it prior to kickoff, and it's cold now. Visiting Maryland for a bit. What part of Maryland are you visiting? So, throat coat with a C. Get your minds out of the gutter, people. What part of Maryland are you visiting? That will depend. That will influence what I say. Because if you're visiting Annapolis, that's going to be very different from visiting Bethesda, which is very different from visiting Salisbury, which is very different from visiting Cumberland. Well, definitely go to the, without a doubt, go to the Baltimore Aquarium. It's an incredible spot. Would I ever visit Bristol? I'm never going to rule it out. I've never been. I think the only places I've been in the United Kingdom are London in England and Glasgow, Edinburgh, and a few other places in Scotland. But I've never, in England, I've never ventured outside of London. So I would definitely visit Bristol. So definitely visit the aquarium if you're going to Baltimore. If you're there while the Baltimore Orioles are home, see if you can get tickets to go to an Orioles game. Camden Yards, if you've never, Oriole Park at Camden Yards, if you've never been, was the stadium that changed baseball, where baseball stadiums prior to Camden Yards had gone a lot of the way of the cookie cutter variety, where you could host football there, you could host baseball there, but Camden Yards is specifically a baseball stadium. Orioles play the Dodgers, even better. The Dodgers are going to be there. You got to buy tickets now. Absolutely. Yeah, the Dodgers by September will likely be heading for the playoffs, and hopefully everybody's healthy. As we are, teams are warming up now to get set for the second half of action. I'd go to see the Dodgers no matter who they're playing. Hello from Limerick to the Ryans. Thank you for joining us. Again, if you haven't told me where you're tuning in from, drop a comment in the chat. Nice drapes. Yeah, they came with the place. They're actually pretty stained up close. I don't know they came that way. I'm happy you all are entertained by what I'm saying. Very happy for that, MK. Thank you. From Barbados. Sorry, I started with a different. Yeah, the thing is, if I mute the camera microphone, none of you will be able to hear penalty calls. The wind has been a problem the entire game. Sorry, Tom. From Toronto. Happy to see you tuning in from the center of the hockey universe. Sorry about the Leafs last night. I saw that they lost to the Sens in overtime, trying to go for the sweep. Hamburg, Germany, joining us. Guten Tag to you. Leafs got the next one. Yeah, Steve Dangle said the same thing. Who do I think is winning the NBA Finals? Uh, Truth be told, I don't watch the NBA regularly, so I actually don't know who is contending. For those uninitiated, last year, the Filton Pride went 8-0 in the regular season, didn't give up more than 10 points except for one matchup against the Cardiff University Cobras. Watching from Fenwick Island, Delaware. Happy to see you, Uncle Greg. Had three shutout wins last season, including a had four shutout wins, including the quarterfinals and semifinals, quarterfinals and finals over Warwick University. Many of the players on that national vase winning team are not on the roster for today. And speaking with the coaches, the coach estimated that about 50% of the team is about 17 years old, and most of the Bucks roster for the team are sixth form students who graduated or are expected to graduate shortly. Would you like a Budweiser? I don't drink alcohol, so no. The answer is no to that question. So several of the destinations for the Filton Pride teams, they've gone on to other universities for non-sport related studies. They've gone on to post-high school academies in the United States, Division III and Division II colleges in the NCAA, the German Football League, both at the top division and League Two, the Swedish Super League, the European League of American Football, and one went to the International Player Pathway for the NFL. That was Bastian Roplet. However, I did like when talking to the coaching staff of the Pride. When talking to the coaching staff for the Pride, they have a policy of you miss classes, you don't practice, and I appreciate that. Something coming from the college sports world that I do, I appreciate a school taking the school part seriously. And I commentate on an Aztecs game this year. You want to give my information to the team? Absolutely. We can figure that out. There's If I can call this game remotely without being on location, I can call a game anywhere being on location. So Pride are going to be the ones receiving this second half kickoff. as they went turnover on downs, touchdown, fumble, turnover on downs, touchdown with a kick, and half. And I commented an NFL Academy game. If you have a contact with the NFL Academy, I would absolutely call an NFL Academy game. No hesitation. I'll always work. The real question is timing. As this week, the game here happened to fall on an off week for American Football Ireland, as both the Premier Division Bishop Sycamore game. I know that one. That's a fake team. So give us a swing and a drive, and we're back on the way. Will Lambert kicking it off, as this one looks like it's going out of play. Watching from Newcastle in Northeast England, as a grandson playing for the Pride. Great to see. Happy that families are tuning in. As the Filton PRIDE get the ball to start the half. Yeah, I remember watching the Bishop Sycamore saga unfold. I was still living in the U.S. at the time. And that was one of those, how in the world get this far without anybody questioning it? Truly stunning to see that nobody, and I mean nobody, got that far.
Go, sideline, finish it off. Let's go, Dave!
We've seen a change at quarterback. Ewan Goad. EOIG is on the run. He's going to take it on as a dual threat quarterback running on the side. You got 2 flags on the play, as there is a wrestling match now. By Spot Leo Kim, number 80, who went down injured following a tackle late in the second quarter. I will let everyone know. Part of the trouble of monitoring the chat in real time, as well as monitoring the game, is that my game feed is a lot smaller than it would be if I had a full screen. As it is an offensive penalty, so the first down play goes for nothing. You got the Ritchie family tuning in. Thank you so much for being part of your Sunday. Carter lines up as the wide receiver here, and this is a pitch play back for Olefa, and he does not get very far. Mark him down for no gain, sets up second down. Second and 20. Set up here for the Pride. By 13 on the Wolfhounds under 20 squad. Going sets up, crouches, gets the snap at eye level. And it's a handoff play. Running around the edge, getting to the first down line, getting all the way and getting near midfield. And that's another great run. That is Leo Kim, number 80, returning to the field. So Leo Kim is back. From the chat, happy to see. Rossi Nikolov. That is not a name I have on my roster sheet today. First and 10 following the long second down run from Kim. Full house backfield. Shotgun snap, handoff. They try to reverse. They reverse it to the right side after going left. Now to the right again. Olefa got the run. As this is creative offense for the Pride, moving the ball well. Happy to see Kim back on the field following a slow to get up moment after a tackle in the second quarter. Pride set up with another first down on Ireland's half of the field. Power side to the left. Going fields a slow snap, but he fielded it from his knees. And because we play under modified NCAA rules, the play is done, and the person who receives the ball goes down to a knee at any point. So that ends up being a loss. Five-yard loss for the Pride as the snap came straight to the 5-yard spot for the shotgun snap. They keep the setup power on the left, move a tight end to the right. The handoff. Looking through called Ethan Villada. It was given two numbers for today, 12 and 54. So it looks like number 12 is the number he's wearing. Pride march, setting up a second down and medium. Wolfhounds definitely getting a test today from the reigning national vase champions. Doig stands in with power to the left, one receiver to the right. They pitch it. Looking for Israel Adelanwa, and Adelanwa running back. He cannot get there for any positive yards. The forward pitch to Israel Adelanwa. It is now 4th and long, setting up again. This is the first possession of the second half. We thank everybody for joining us here on your Sunday afternoon or your Sunday morning if you're still tuning in from the United States. My name is Max Walpoff. I'm the voice of UCD American football. I think that's the reason UCD is on the top side of the score dog. Boy, takes the hands up. He'll load up and go for this first down shot, and is incomplete, bouncing around. I could not get anything done following the run. As it looks like there's a flag on the field. So hold off on the change of possession order. Too many men in the backfield. Ireland will turn down the penalty and go out for the first time on offense in this half. Zach McDowell returning to the backfield. Number 10, one of the quarterbacks for the Belfast Knights. I have to adjust my eyes that he's wearing 10, not 11, because he was wearing 11 when he and the Knights came down to play UCD. Ireland opting to roll out most of the same roster that they had to start this game as they get good field position inside of their 40. McDowell's waiting for the signal that he's allowed to start play. Wolfhounds set up 2 to the right, 1 to the left, with 2 in the backfield. Dowell, it's a handoff looking for Hoskins, and he's met in the backfield quickly by Yundi, among others on the stop, number 57 for the Pride. as it results in a short loss of 1. Second down coming for the Wolfhounds. Wolfhounds will now set up on the right side of the field. From the National Sports Campus, driving toward the east end zone. If you keep going east, you'll eventually hit the Dublin Airport. And heading toward the west is County Meath. McDowell stands and waits 5 yards behind the center. He receives the snap right in his chest, and it's a fumbled snap. Fumbled the transfer. The Pride have it on the turnover. First turnover of the day for the Wolfhounds as they give the Pride the ball on their half of the field. Only scoring today coming from Olathe on a touchdown run and Kim on a touchdown catch and run. As the wind has decided to chime in again. Oliver Smithson was the quarterback for the Pride to start off the game, number 8. As Pride have made a change to Owen Doig. I'm guessing on the pronunciation. So if anybody's got a pronunciation for the current quarterback, please help me out. Handoff is to Olathe. Short gain up the right side of the line. Takeaway to refund method. Not sure I understand your question. Pride going quickly. They break the huddle fast. Doig sends Olathe down to the H-back position. Rolling right, looking for the receiver, incomplete. Wanted Kim on the sideline. Unable to make the completion, sets up a third down as quickly Pride, after getting the ball following the fumble, are facing a third down situation. Yuan Doig. All right, Yuan. Thank you for the help. Thank you for the help, Gabriel. Really appreciate it. I did not get a formal guide prior to the game, so on a lot of these pronunciations, many of them are simple enough, but I have been guessing. Carter goes in motion. Doig receives, and he's got blitz right up the middle. It's an air ball. Aver Lombard is there. It's caught! Touchdown! And Griffith on the catch. Nothing. Pride in the lead. First scoring play of the second half. Aver Lombard, number 27 for Ireland, tried to undercut the throw. Missed. And Griffiths able to make the catch. Nobody was behind him. So Doig gets his first touchdown throw of the day. As Carter lines up with Kim as the holder, looking for the point after try kick. Point after kick coming here, following the touchdown catch from Sam Griffiths. Carter's kick is away, and it is good. $20-0, Pride on top of the Wolfhounds. Wolfhounds will receive the ball. They fumbled on their first drive of the second half. Once again, want to thank everybody for tuning in, whether you're tuning in from the Caribbean. We've had a couple of people chiming in from Jamaica, Bermuda, a couple of places, people tuning in from the United States, namely my parents and my grandparents, as well as my uncle. A few people tuning in from Hawaii. I don't know how you're awake at this hour. And many people tuning in from England, watching their friends play on this Pride roster that is putting a 20-0 scoreline. Ted Carter is the kicker, so I'm assuming he lines up to kick it again because the camera is focused on the return here. The non-uniform helmets that some of you might see for the Irish Wolfhounds are because many players are wearing their club helmets, red from the Cork Admirals. We have a few blues from UCD, some yellows from the Belfast Knights. As here's the reception on the kick. Return is up the middle, and it stops beyond the 30. Have I ever considered a sports media course? That was most of my time in college, actually. I was a journalism major at Boston University, and I had 4 great years there. I did commentary for a lot of the university sports teams at BU. But as of now, I'm at that point where I'd actually be more qualified to teach sports media classes than to take them myself. I could teach commentary to a room full of kids, and I could definitely turn out a couple of good ones. I've had my share of moments in this booth that I've used as lessons for several younger people that I've worked with in my time at Boston University. My time with the Maryland Bobcats, which for those unaware is a soccer team based out of near to my hometown in Maryland. BYU opinions. I don't really have a super strong opinion about Brigham Young University. Their football team had a great year. I enjoyed watching Jake Retzlaff at quarterback as one of, I think the AP story had him at one of 5 Jews in the entire school. So that was a really fun watch to see the school get behind him. As is a procedure penalty pre-snap, backing the Wolfhounds 5 yards. Unforced error again, as McDowell didn't even get the snap before losing yards. I tell you what, I'll put my social handle in the chat on my own YouTube channel, but give me a second before that happens. 3 receivers to the right, 1st and 15. McDowell takes, snap is at his knees. He's running, he fakes that, and he's going to set up a throw. Wanted Osen Mulroney, again, his Knights teammate, could not bring him in. Second down play coming. McDowell takes a low snap. A-gap blitz. It's picked up, and this pass is going to sail long. Merton Turner among those in triple coverage around Mulroney. So it's a lengthy 3rd down here, 3rd and 15, as the Pride keeping a 0 on the board for the Wolfhounds. Ireland's team has struggled so far to move the ball. Foul takes. Running back stays into pass protect, passes over the head and incomplete. Wanted Torrin Murray of UCD. How much longer left? We're still in the third quarter, and I commentate your wedding. I wouldn't know what to say, Mr. Hayes or Miss Hayes. I'm not sure. I wouldn't know what to say, so I could do it. You'd have to help me out a bit with scripting and presentation. You'd have to help me out a bit on that one, but I could. McDowell's back to punt. This is going to be his 5th time punting today if he's able to get it off. He does. Nobody was back to receive. This is going to roll all the way to the end zone, and it results in a touchback. That's the 5th punt so far today for the Wolfhounds, under 20 team, as we're closing in on the 4th quarter. Thank you, Gabriel. Much appreciated. We had 3 touchdowns for the Pride today, coming from 3 different players. Receiving touchdowns from Leo Kim and Sam Griffiths after a touchdown run by Simon Olefa.
Go!
Ewan Doig, back for the snap, hands it off, up the middle run, plenty of blocking up ahead, creates a great hole, and it's a good first down run, set up a 2nd and short. Happy to help. Pride have gone 1 for 3. 2 for 3 on point after tries. The first one, they could not get the snap down in time, and Ireland was able to block it. Doig, he hangs on to this one. He's chased, he's pressured, and gets the ball away. Griffiths, the closest one to it, sets up a 3rd down and about 4. As Doig and the offense content to play the waiting game. Content to run out the clock here. Doig again on the handoff, looking to get the yards on a run play, and cannot get the first down. Despite giving up 20 points so far, Ireland's Wolfhounds have shown a really good spot in the field here on defense. The catch and run by Leo Kim was easily the most explosive play by Ireland today. Sam Griffith's touchdown catch, close 2nd. And a goal line run by Olefa. Those are the only scoring plays so far. As here comes a punt team out for Carter. Gets the signal, nobody rushing, and Carter gets a low line drive away. It'll pull up, and somebody receives it for UCD. He gets popped by 2 players. Gabriel Krubali on the stop. Among those on the tackle. First punt of the half for the Pride. And their first punt of the game, actually, because the other times they punted did not result in a punt actually getting away. But the first punt they were able to complete. As we hit 2:30 here on Irish Standard Time, we thank every single person who is out there who has watched us and listened to the entirety of this game. We're in the 3rd quarter of action. Filton PRIDE are up 20-0. As it looks like we've got a change at quarterback for Ireland. I believe that's Joe Carroll of UCD lining up. And he'll roll out to the right. Joe Carroll, keeping his eyes downfield, throws up a bit of a duck and almost caught. Job, Brill. All right, thank you for the help there. A lengthy throw from Joe Carroll, his first bit of action so far today. The UCD quarterback has been mostly on play calling duty, as backup is Tyg O'Connor. But Carroll has led a couple of scoring drives himself, including a season opening scoring drive against Dublin Rebels, and leading scoring drives for his first passing touchdowns in the most recent game. Here on this pitch play, trying to get to the outside, he breaks through two defenders as Conan McGinnis breaks free and gets positive yards. Third down coming up here. Carroll will stand and wait. Three receivers right, one to the left. Carroll receives, fakes the handoff, got a blitz now coming from the right side, and he'll throw the ball away. It gets tipped before getting to the intended target. Torin Murray, his UCD teammate. Fourth and medium. Carroll can punt as well. As the call, defense ready from the sideline seems to indicate Wolfhounds will punt here. Down by 3 possessions. And instead they call a play from the huddle. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Carroll takes low snap, got a blitz coming. Carroll eludes the pressure, shovel pass, and it's going to be a close one. Ends on the spot. And the side judge gives them the first down. Impressive.
Let's go, Joey.
It seemed like a generous spot from my perspective, but Carroll now takes the signal. As McDowell, he can play wide receiver. McDowell, the previous quarterback, is lined up as the single receiver on the left-hand side of the formation. Got 3 on the right, Carroll behind center. Pride, load up the box. They bring about 5 or 6, and he'll go down in the backfield. Carroll hanging on for dear life to that football. As you pick up the first down and take a hit on the play. Pride bring pressure up by 20. As that is the end of the third quarter of action. So the teams will switch ends of the field as they attack. As we once again thank every single one of you who has joined us today at any point in time. My name is Max Walthoff. I'm the voice of UCD American football. For 1,000 yen on America to Silver to get 3 touchdowns. I don't know who you have as a bookie that's accepting bets on this game. All right. Adventurous choices. Joe Carroll in at quarterback on this third down play. Setting up from their side of the 50-yard line. Carroll's got 2 in the backfield, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. And they'll take the handoff. The handoff does not go for a lot of yards. Conan McGinnis gets some of it back, not all of it. Wolfhounds already have converted 1 4th down try on this possession. As the decision looks to be going forward again, 4th and about 7. Got Hoskins in the backfield with him, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Carroll has it. He's rushed from the right. He's flushed outside the pocket. He's going to run for it himself. Stretches out the arm. Does he get it? Yes, he does. First down is the call. Joe Carroll comes in and gets 2 straight first downs on the 4th down plays. He's flushed from the right-hand side. Carroll will now switch the formation, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. 5-man rush coming. Rolls to the right. That's where the pressure goes. He gets it to Murray, and Murray is incomplete. Might have been a loss had he caught it. Instead, it just sets up a 2nd and 4. Fourth quarter of action, Wolfhounds trail by 3 possessions. Carroll will receive the snap with 2 joining him in the backfield and 2 to the right. As there's some movement along the line, curious to see who moved first. Pride say it's the Wolfhounds. Wolfhounds say it's the Pride. They appeal to the officials. Have I had lunch? Yes, I ate before the game started, as it is a false start. First and 15. Thank every one of you for joining us here on the American Football Ireland YouTube channel. Joe Carroll sets up looking for McDowell. It's a floater down the sideline and good coverage on the play from Ellis Phillips. I had some chicken noodle soup. I had a little bit left over. Second and 15 coming up here. Can I have your leftovers? No, I happen to like the chicken noodle soup that I can make. So, no, I'm probably going to have the rest of it tomorrow. Carroll sets again. It's second and 15. 3 receivers to his right. He'll roll that direction. He's going to hold it, tuck it, and run. He's got a couple of blockers, gets some yards, gets back to the original line of scrimmage before being pulled out of bounds for the 3rd and 10. Had Joseph Bamadil out on the coal block. What's for dinner? I'm not sure. I've got an event to go to right after this, so I might hang around depending on what's for dinner there. So I haven't decided. Carroll receives the snap from three receivers to his left. He's looking that way, steps up into the pressure, and he's taken into the teeth of the defense and driven backward. Will I live stream from the event? No, I will not. There's another fourth down play. Turnover on downs. Pride with the ball again. Pride setting up in good field position for their first possession of this quarter. From the 44-yard line. U20 receives the snap, had the orbit motion behind him. Going long. Lombard's back in coverage and cannot bring it down. Incomplete. Second down coming as the receiver goes back to retrieve the ball. How old am I? I am 28. Just turned 28 last November on Election Day in America. It was fun to have my birthday in another country, not on Election Day here. That was nice. That was nice to have my day sort of just to myself. I don't know what a spin jitsu is, so I'm going to say I can't do it because I don't know what it is. Joy receives, full house backfield. Handoff is going to go up the middle, and the Wolfhounds have this one pulled on. It's a short gain, now brings up a third and medium. Pride set up for a third and medium from about the 50-yard line. They're set up for 47 2/3. Three to the right on this backfield. They hand it off at the middle to Aletha. He's got plenty of room, shakes a couple of arm tackles, and getting around. Lombard gets to him and brings him down. Favorite SpongeBob character? I'm going to assume I can't pick SpongeBob because a lot of people say that. So I'm going to pick Mr. Krabs because he's always a cause for comedy. There was a bit in San Diego Comic-Con this past year where the SpongeBob cast was on a panel and they were asked what their favorite line of their character is. And the voice of Mr. Krabs said the one we all think of. Hello, I'm Mr. Krabs, and I like money. It was a very good panel to hear what the voice actors thought of their own favorite classic lines. Definitely an interesting insight. Joig sets up again. He's got plenty of room on the right side. He's going to run that way. Lots of blockers in front of him, and he's pushed to the sideline following a good first down gain. Looks like he'll reset the chains once again. I think I have to leave the drapes here when my lease runs out. So, no, you can't have my drapes. First down from just outside the 20-yard line. As the Pride make their way down to the red zone. Doig came into this game to start the third quarter following a successful stint from Oliver Smithson. Launching it down the field, and did he get the toes down? Caught! Intercepted! First INT of the day. Incredible. No, I happen to like this tie. This tie has some personal significance to me. Last March, I was working for a college sports conference in the United States, the Atlantic 10, in case anybody was curious. And I forgot my second day suit when I drove down to Richmond for our women's basketball championship event. And this is the tie that I purchased to look good at the championship day because I couldn't wear the same exact suit that I wore for semifinals day. I picked out a green tie specifically because none of the teams in the finals had green as their school colors. And I didn't want to look as a member of the conference partial to any school by any means. Carroll's still in at quarterback following a interception from close to the goal line. Carroll rolls, looking for a deep shot, and he overshot his receiver, incomplete. Merton on the coverage of McDowell. Spiffy tie. I agree. It is a very nice tie. I knew when I was approached to do this game, I knew that a lot of the players talk about getting the green jersey. So I figured I'd pull out the green tie. Who do you think I am? Who's the guy that auctions his bow ties for charity every baseball broadcast? Ken Rosenthal. That's who it is. Who do you think I am? Ken Rosenthal? I don't have that relationship with charities to auction off my neckwear the way he does. Well, the Wolfhounds brought me in to do this. There's a reason this is on the American Football Ireland channel. They are the home team, and I happen to live in the area. So, yes, there is a reason that I support the Wolfhounds. I know a lot of the guys on the team. I'm a lot taller than Ken Rosenthal. And also, he does bow ties, which is not my thing. I prefer the tie. I had a bow tie phase, as there was a penalty pre-snap. So because because the Wolfhounds are backed up so far, it's only a half of the distance to the goal penalty. Carroll will receive this snap with three receivers on his left. Carroll will roll to the right, getting out of the end zone. He'll get some positive yards. Take a short bump, not enough for any kind of penalty. Brings up a third down here. I am 5'10". I don't know what that converts to in metric. I believe that's 170 something centimeters, but I haven't gotten that quick at converting height and weight to metric from the units that I'm used to. Third and long setting up here for the Wolfhounds. Defensive coverage slides to the A gap. They hand it off, and this handoff does not get anywhere. Fourth down, backed up deep in their own territory. And the Wolfhounds having some trouble. It is fourth down. Wolfhounds. Down by 3 scores. Carroll will line up in punt formation. And it's a movement along the lines. Somebody moved quickly. And this is actually going to be 5 free yards for the Wolfhounds. DBJ, too much information, not answering that question. Did I just hear the announcement for 4 minutes? Chat, you all heard that, right? There's 4 minutes, and they just stopped the clock? All right. 20-0 Pride have the lead on 3 scoring drives. A run by Olefa, a catch by Kim, and another catch by Griffiths. 2-point after kicks from Ted Carter, and you're all caught up on the scoring. Wolfhounds have not been in the red zone today, at least in the offensive red zone. They're set up here for 4th down, deep in their own end. I don't know who that is. And it looks like, well, this is fascinating. The Wolfhounds are opting to go for it here from 4th and about 5. And it's not a bluff. They're going to go for it. Carroll's got the ball. Carroll's going to try to run for it. He throws, looking down the sideline, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. Got it into his hands, tiptoeing the sideline, could not haul it in. It is going to be 1st down Pride with great scoring position. Down by 3 scores, Wolfhounds trying to get something going. As the Pride have it 1st and goal. Doig returns to the field, heavy set formation, keeping people close in the backfield. They'll motion somebody out. It's a run, it's a pass, they fake the defense out. Doig shakes and bakes a couple of people, runs back into the line, and he is dropped. Fake the handoff quarterback run, as Doig could not find an open receiver. Second down and goal. Pride taking as much time as they can on this huddle. Doig receives, shovel pass. Looking for a run from Molden, and Molden gets yards but cannot get to the end zone. 3rd down here is the defense hoping to hold serve this deep into their end zone. As a stoppage comes. Not sure what this is for. As they signal it as a penalty. Further proof that I don't live on the internet, I don't know what that means in this context. My version of a ghost is just a disappearing act. Doig sets up. I believe this is 2nd down following a defensive penalty. He's going to run to the right. He's got a lot of blockers, but he's unable to get to the goal line. He doesn't get there. 3rd down setting up here within 5 yards of the end zone. As the Pride had great field position to start. They started at 1st and goal. Will Lambert, the one coming on for the Wolfhounds. Doig and gets a jump. Had some movement along the lines. They blow the play dead, which indicates it's a false start. So this will back up Pride. Getting into the later stages here of this fourth quarter. Well, he's got two in the backfield with him. Thomas Molden, the one receiving the ball on this handoff. It's dropped. Double recovery by the Wolfhounds. As both drives in this quarter have ended in turnovers, an interception near the goal line, and now a fumble near the goal line. Wolfhounds get the ball right back. Judging by the fact that the ball is being taken out, Wolfhounds had a small return. It has been a struggle on offense today. The defense has held up their end, limiting the Pride to just 3 scoring plays. Bert Toast, that's how you know the bookies are gaming you. If they tell you something's a guarantee, run away, especially if the bookie's the one telling you. That's Tyg O'Connor now into play quarterback number 6 for the Wolfhounds. Here's a short pass out to the left-hand side of the formation. And it's a short gain on first down. O'Connor now getting some reps here. As O'Connor plays for University College Dublin. He's a current undergraduate at the school. O'Connor now back in the backfield again. 1 receiver to his right, 2 to his left. Shout out to number 82, Angus Slater, as O'Connor receives, gets the pass off and over the head of his intended target. Sets up a long third down. Lorcan McCarthy is 82 of the Wolfhounds. That's from the Northwest Vipers of Division 1. One of 5 Vipers as part of this game. So it looks like another stop here. Again, we thank all of you for sticking with us here on American Football Ireland's YouTube channel. As part of today's stream, we're thrilled to be bringing you Wolfhounds under 20 action. Filton PRIDE looks like they've brought a roster that has good potential for the upcoming season in British universities and colleges sports, or Bucks as it's known for short. I don't play online, and I also don't have my gaming system here. Besides, I got to run immediately after this. Serves me right for scheduling anything immediately after a game. Play resumes. O'Connor receives the snap. He's got 2 receivers close to him on the right-hand side. It's a pitch play. The run is not going to get there. Lost yards here on this third down play. Ellis Phillips, one of the captains today for the Pride, got to be happy with the way his defense and his offense are working in concert. As it looks like another punt is coming for the Wolfhounds. There was movement. This one's in the end zone. Uh-oh, this is trouble. And that's a safety. Pride get 2 free points on a high snap punt that goes into the end zone where the punter is tackled. It's 2 points for the Pride, and they pick up the ball on the kickoff coming up. I've had that comparison before. Will Lambert will set up for the safety kick as the Pride get themselves 2 points on the board. As long as you don't ask me to do the football parts, probably. Lambert setting up for the safety kick. Lambert named one of the captains today. Represents University College Dublin in his club career. As the ball falls over in the wind. 22-0. There's a 3 score plays on offense for Pride, and the most recent play is safety. Lambert will send this one away. It'll be good field position for the Pride when they get this one. As Sam Griffith shakes around a few players, and he'll get past. Looks like he's got about the 50-yard line after a 20-yard return. And that looks like it's the ball game. Filton Pride come into Ireland and win 22-0. Is your final score from the National Sports Campus. Thank each and every one of you for watching today. Thank you so much for every one of you who's tuned in today. My name is Max Walthoff, and on behalf of all of us at American Football Ireland, we hope to see you all again soon. Meanwhile, from Dublin, good night and have a great day.
You lost by 3 touchdowns.